Hey guys, Mike Heath here. I want to thank you for joining me on this video. What I'm going to show you is how to get your first $1,500 a month client this week. I'm going to show you how easy it is to go ahead and get that client this week. And by the end of this video, you're going to learn the step-by-step process I use in my business every day to get local clients this way. This is how I get local clients. To get national clients or clients across the country, I use Facebook ads. But this video is designed to teach you how to get local clients quickly and at no cost to you other than the cost of time it takes to go to a meeting and close a deal. And I know anybody can do that. So let's go ahead and get started. Oh, and a little fringe benefit is by the end of this, you might be able to fire some of your low paying clients. I think that should be that's a worthy goal for anybody who's struggling with low paying clients. Now, I want you to know that this is a 100% free content webinar. So, the other thing is go ahead and get out a piece of paper and a pen right now because I don't have everything written down on these slides. I'm going to be explaining a lot of the stuff to you. So, it's 100% free. This is no sales pitch in disguise. This is just a free content webinar. And I have a free gift for you at the end, so I want you to stick around for the whole thing and stay tuned for this presentation. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. First thing I want to do is ask you a couple questions. Are you sick of low paying clients who want everything for nothing? And I think you know the type. The clients who want everything yesterday, the clients who don't want to pay you anything, the clients who are always late with payment, who expect the world from you while you're slaving away at your desk. Speaking of which, are you also tired of feeling trapped at your desk, making that $300 per client? Did you quit your day job or do you still have a day job, but you feel chained to your desk while you're working on client projects because you're not getting paid very well and they expect a ton of work output from you? Are you ending up working nights and weekends and holidays just to make ends meet? And the big problem I've heard from a lot of people is that you tend to think when you have four or five low paying clients, they're paying you $300 or $400, you think, well, if I could just get a couple more clients, then I could do X, Y, and Z. So I could afford to outsource more, or I could afford to uh, hire another company to do the stuff for me, or I could afford an employee, or I could afford to put some money away, or get my car fixed, or XYZ. And the reality is that's never the case because the more clients you have, the more time you're going to spend servicing those clients. And it turns into an endless, perpetual loop of client service. And even if you do hire someone, now you have more clients. So you spend half your time dealing with your current clients. You spend the other half of your time trying to find a decent outsourcer to get this stuff done. You're trying to monitor their work to make sure they're doing it right. And you're also having to pay them to do it. And you're trying to figure out how to delegate stuff to them in the meantime. So it ends up taking more of your time to outsource because now you have more work to do. So you're basically increasing your workload and decreasing the time you have with every new client, no matter if you outsource or not. So it really ends up being this lie that you tell yourself over and over and over that one day it's going to be better if I can just. But the reality is that to provide a scalable business and a nice lifestyle for yourself and your family, what you really need is to charge what you're worth. And the way you do that is by providing a service that combines relatively little work for yourself, huge returns for your client, and almost immediate ROI, positive ROI for them. That's something that you can systemize, you can scale, you can take yourself out of the equation quickly so that you're not thinking, oh, well, if I just had one more client. So that's what I'm going to show you today. So, how to get your first high dollar client. So, here's the steps. Step one, I want you to think of the businesses your family frequents. And for the purposes of this, I'm going to use a dentist because I've had the most success with dentist offices on these campaigns, and I know dentist offices, I know what they offer, and so it's a great example. The other reason I'm using a dentist office as an example is that everybody goes to the dentist, at least if you're in the United States. Everybody goes to the dentist, so it's a place that every family goes. They know you, and people don't tend to change dentists too often. So when you get a client for them, you're going to get them a client for life or for a good long time. So it's a great business to go after. So I want you to think about dentists. I also want you to think about other businesses that are a good fit. So here's the criteria. Number one, they have to charge about $100 per transaction. That means that anytime you go into this place, they're going to charge you about $100. Things that are good examples of this are dentist offices, gyms, and I'm talking about local gyms that are able to charge $100 a month and up for their services. The other criteria is, that they have to already be in business. I don't want you to work with a new business because you know what new businesses are? They're broke because they spent all their money on infrastructure and getting things set up. They don't have any money. They're working off of loan capital that they need to pay back. They're already in debt. You don't want to mess with that. So, $100 per transaction, already in business, have been in business for a few years, are able to handle more clients. You want them to be able to handle all the business you throw at them, right? And you want them to operate by appointment. That part's extremely important. Make sure you write that down. You want them to operate by appointment. So that's why dentist offices are a good fit for this, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. Step three is the easiest part, is setting up a meeting. The way you do this is extremely simple. If you are, and I'm going to tell you the exact way I did this. I was at my dentist office, and I went up to the front desk and saw the receptionist after I was done with my appointment. Her name is Crystal. She's really nice. She's been there for years. She knows who I am. And I went up to her and I said, "Hey, Crystal, I actually run a marketing business, and I've come across something really exciting, and I want to set up a meeting with whoever does your marketing. Who would that be?" And Crystal said, "Oh, that's Michelle, the owner's daughter, uh, but she's not in today. Um, can I give you her number?" And I said, "Yeah, go ahead and give me your number because I want to set up a meeting with her to talk about this marketing opportunity." So Crystal gave me her number, and Crystal told me when she would be in next. So I went home, and the next day around 10 o'clock in the morning, I called Michelle at the office, and I said, "Hey, Michelle, uh, I'm a longtime client of your dentist office here in Columbia here, and Crystal told me that you would help me set up a meeting to talk about some marketing stuff for you guys." Now, the reason this is the easiest way to set up a meeting is because you can reference a conversation you had with the secretary to get the other people to do what you want. And here's the trick to that. And you can use this more than just for meetings, but this is a really cool trick. If you tell somebody that somebody else said they would help you, they're going to help you, right? So if I say, "Crystal said you would fill in the blank," they're going to help me do that, no matter what it is, because Crystal said they would. Nobody wants to be a liar, and nobody wants to be inconsistent. And so that's what she's going to do, is help me set up a meeting. because Crystal said she would. If she doesn't do that, then she's a liar, and nobody wants to be a liar. Nobody wants to be made look bad, and so she's going to do it. This is the simplest way to set up a meeting, I guarantee you. So I said, "Hey Michelle, Crystal said you'd help me set up a meeting. I want to talk about some marketing stuff. When is a good time for you?" So Michelle gave me a time, and so we set the meeting. Now, alternatively, you can say what times you have available because that keeps the ball in your court because you don't give her the opportunity to say, actually, we're not interested right now. So you want to keep the ball in your court, and you want to go ahead and say, yeah, I've got a few times available. Would one of those work for you? And she's going to say yes, and you're going to set up the meeting. The meeting. Step 4 is to close the deal. And here's exactly how we're going to do that. I want you to write this down. So the way we close the deal is we go in and say, hey, Michelle, so here's what I've got going on. I have got access to a network of hundreds of thousands of people just in our local area. And I'm only going to work with one dentist in Columbia on this. And since I'm a client, I wanted to give you guys the opportunity to get in before I go to any other dentists. And I'm only going to work with one, so I wanted you guys to be the first. And I wanted you guys to have the first shot at it. And here's how it works. All we're going to do is come up with a special offer that we can send out to people in Columbia, and we're going to get people to respond to that offer, and then you're going to call the people and book the appointment. How easy does that sound? That sounds really easy. So let me ask you a question, Michelle. If I brought you 50 leads for a teeth whitening service in October next month, how many of those do you think you could close and bring into the office? If they already said they were interested in teeth whitening and they already expressed their interest in getting it done, how many of those 50 do you think you could close? Most businesses are going to give you a high number. They're going to say, oh, I could close all 50. In reality, businesses are only going to be able to close about 50%. So keep that number in mind. So Michelle is going to say, I could probably close 40. And you say, wow, 40, that's a huge number of people that you could get in here every month for teeth whitening. And that's a $200 service. So I'm horrible at math, but that sounds like it's $80,000 or $8,000 of profit every month that you're not making now. Would it be worth it to you to bring in $8,000 in revenue every single month for the rest of the year? Well, yeah. And over the course of a year, that $8,000 is $96,000 in revenue. Would that make a difference around here? And she's going to say, oh, yeah, absolutely. So what you say is, well, great, let's go ahead and get started. I want to start sending leads to this teeth whitening service and get people in the door. And she's going to say, well, how much does it cost? And that's when you say, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you. In order to make you this $8,000 a month, I only charge $1,500. So the basic deal is that I'm going to give you $8,000 and you're going to give me $1,500. I mean, does that sound like a pretty fair deal? You get to keep $6,500 a month over, $75,000 a year just to run this program. And I only get a fraction of that for running the ads and getting people in the door. How does that sound? Oh, well, that sounds really good. Let's go ahead and get started. So you are going to get some suggestions or some objections, and here's what they're going to look like. They're going to say, oh, well, that's too much money. And you're going to say, well, I thought we just went over that, if you're able to close 40 people, then you're going to make about $8,000. Is that right? Did we mix something up? Or is that about right? And they're going to say, no, that's right. And I'm going to say, well, then if you make $8,000 and I get 1,500 of that, the only month that you're going to pay that up front is this month. Every other month, you're going to pay it from the revenue you make. So you're not actually paying for it except for the first month. And unless I'm missing something, I don't. That's a pretty big revenue generator for you. It sounds like it would be good. I don't really understand how it's too much money. And they're going to flounder and come up, if they really don't want to do it, they're going to come up with another excuse like, well, I need some time to think about it. Money and think about it are the two biggest objections you'll get, along with, I need to talk it over with my spiritual advisor, psychic, husband, business partner. Okay? Those are the biggest ones you're going to get. So the price one, you just clarify what you already told them. Like, well, I thought you were going to get $8,000 a month, so 1,500 doesn't sound like a lot at all. And they say, yeah, well, okay, well, I need to think about it. And I say, okay, well, here's the deal. Like I said before, I'm only going to work with one dentist in town. And I want you guys to be that person because I've been coming here for a number of years and I trust you guys with my dental health. So that's why I wanted you guys to be the first. And if you say you're going to think about it, I'm going to have to offer it to someone else. I can't hold this open indefinitely. So if you want to get started today, all I need is a payment, and that's it. If you decide you don't want to do it after the first month, after you've made $8,000, you decide it's not worth it, that's fine too. But I just need a commitment now so that we can go ahead and get started, so I don't have to go to another dentist that I don't know to make all this money and close all these deals. And so that's a good way that promotes the idea of scarcity. Nobody else is doing what I'm doing. And that's another objection you'll get, by the way, is, oh, we already have a web guy. And then you can say, well, actually, no, you don't. You don't have anyone doing what I'm offering here. What I have access to is a group of hundreds of thousands of people on Facebook mainly who are looking at Facebook all day at work and who are interested in the offer that you have. Nobody else in town's doing this. No other dentist in town, anyway. So if you want to get in on the ground floor on something that I know works, then this opportunity is here for you right now. If you don't, that's fine too. I'll move on. But I just need to know today what your decision is. And that forces them to make a choice right there. Okay? And the other thing they're going to say is, oh, I need to go talk to my spiritual advisor or whatever. So the way that you handle that is in front of the meeting. You make sure that the person you're in the meeting with is the decision maker. I cannot stress that enough. The person you're in the meeting with has to have final authority to do what you want them to do. Otherwise, it's a horrible idea to even have a meeting. Because I'll tell you what's going to happen. You're going to go in, you're going to explain this, and then they're going to go to the owner or whoever, their husband, their wife, and what they're going to say is this: hey, this marketing guy wants to charge $1,500 a month. That sounds expensive to me. What do you think? And the owner or spiritual advisor is going to say, well, that sounds like a really crappy deal to me. And then they're going to come back and say, oh, no, we decided we don't have the money in our budget to make a lot of money this year. And so then you get, buzzed off. So you have to make sure you're talking to the decision maker. So I want you to go ahead and close out that deal. Step 5, I want you to deliver the service. Here's how easy this is. You have a dentist office. They're offering a $200 teeth whitening for only $149. So that's the deal you've decided to make. All you're going to do is do two things. You're going to set up a squeeze page that has the deal details on it, with an opt-in form that collects their name, email, and phone number. Then what you're going to do is create a Facebook ad that goes to that squeeze page. The Facebook ad says exactly the same thing as the squeeze page does. Attention women, teeth whitening service, 149, limited time only, claim your spot today. All the leads from that squeeze page are going to go to the dentist's office, and you're going to see them too. And the dentist's office, their job is going to be to call these prospects and say, hey, thank you so much for claiming your special offer. We've got an appointment available at Tuesday at 9 or Wednesday at 10. Which one works best for you? That's the easiest way to close an appointment. It's the easiest way to close a lead who's filled out a form on Facebook. And it's the easiest way to get new clients in the door. That's why it's important. These businesses operate on appointment basis because that's an easy way to close. Step 6 is just to repeat. Go find other businesses that fit the criteria. Remember, I mentioned dentists, and there's several others: doggy daycare, doctor, accountant, lawyer, a carpet cleaning, oriental rug cleaning, doggy daycare, hair salon, spa, high-end massage place, high-end restaurant. Anywhere you can think of that you frequent and where they know you is an added bonus, because then you can ask for a meeting and close the deal time after time after time. So now I've taught you how to go out and get your first $1,500 a month client this week. And what I don't want you to do is make the mistake of walking away from this video without doing anything about it. My ultimate goal for you is to be able to attract high dollar clients around the clock 24/7 online using Facebook ads. I want you to earn more per client, and I want you to be able to do whatever you want. Now think about that for a second. If you could replace all of your crappy, low paying clients with high dollar clients, then what could you do with your life? Could you afford to buy a new car, or afford to send your kids to a private school, or afford to go on vacation more often, or afford house repairs that you've needed, or afford to have another kid? Whatever it is that you want to do, you can make this happen. And if you take action and do what I've outlined in this video, I know you'll be successful, because that's how I got started. And that's how I was able to make it happen for myself. And that's now how I'm able to have the money to attract high paying clients 24/7. Now, I'm going to tell you that most people have questions or need more help getting started with this process. And so I want to help you get on your feet as soon as possible. So what I'm offering today for you is a free phone consultation. And to claim that, all you need to do is click the button below to jump on the phone with me. What's going to happen is we're going to talk. I'm going to ask you some questions about your business. I'm going to see if we're a good fit and if we can work together. And if not, no big deal. It's not a sales call. It's a call to see if you're a good fit for me. If you're not, no big deal. If you are, that's great. We'll work together. So I want to give you a little side note. My wife is having our first child in about 2 weeks. 1.5 weeks probably is the more likely scenario. So my time and my spaces are limited. And because of that, I only have 5 spaces available for people in this program. And remember that thing about doing what you want? Right now, I'm doing what I want because I have the clients that I'm producing results for. And I want to help more people get to the level where I am. And in order to do that, I can only have 5 spaces available because I want to spend more time with my family. I want to spend time with my newborn. I want to do a lot of things that I was not able to do just 18 months ago. So if you would like those same opportunities, if you would like me to show you exactly how I do that, go ahead and click below. Schedule your call with me right now. And I will hopefully talk to you soon. That is it for me. Thank you so much for watching this video. Click below to schedule your call, and I'll talk to you very soon. Thanks so much.